Okay, this is Ray again from explorerray.com, and I am back in the hotel I usually stay in when I'm in Oslo, and it's kind of my home away from home. I think it's really nice when I can actually the staff actually knows my name. So, but that isn't why what I want to share with you today. Today I want to share some more notes on the magnificent D810 and specifically using it for street photography. I did a test for it about a month ago, and I did a comparison test with this when it was rather new to me, and for me when I was rather new to Nikon technology. Now I've used it quite a lot afterwards. I've done some tests for the quite opposite to street photography, wildlife photography. But here's my point. I don't know where I picked up that. I think it was on some other YouTube channel, but it was an Australian man who says that f8 is your mate when it comes to street photography. Or he said that you can use the other word, f8, and stay there. And I try to use that kind of technique when I take street photography images, because I most often would like to keep most of the image sharp and nice. One of the major things I think about the Nikon compared to the Canons which I'm used to using, or the Fuji and so on else, is that when I'm in manual or semi-manual modes like AV, which I primarily use, very often I have to do some kind of tinkering just to be able to take the shot. What I like, one of the things I think is really magnificent with this setup is that I use for street photography, which is the 35mm arc lens from Sigma, which in itself is a masterpiece of engineering, is that you have a very good ISO capability in this magnificent machine. And many have discussed and talked about the base ISO 64 compared to 100, which most other DSLRs have, but it is the exact opposite which is interesting to me, and that is the function of auto ISO, which makes them compare it to or choose based on the lighting and the setting what ISO you should use. And for me, that actually, when I'm doing street photography, what I use primarily for setup is that I use aperture priority, or I use the Canon abbreviation. I don't know what it's called in Nikon, but the A setting, and I put it in f8. Or around the f8, 6.3 or f11 in that range there, but approximately f8. And I use the auto ISO system. And in 9 out of 10 circumstances, I will always get a sharp shot. And for street photography, that is just brilliant. And it works really nice. Of course, it's probably a lot of other techniques you can use and a lot of other things, but for me, I often convert, for those of you who have looked at my images and so on, I often convert them into black and whites, and even if the system has chosen a maybe too high ISO that you wouldn't choose if you have a little bit better time to think it yourself, it just adds a little grain, it just adds a little grit to the scene. So in many circumstances it doesn't ruin the image at all. So this was just a little tip. I am still really starting to love this little piece of machinery, and it works brilliantly to what I use it for. And so yeah, I'm not going to dwell on it anymore, but just just my tip. Choose an aperture which suits your style of taking images. Use auto ISO. Most new systems today can handle ISO very well. You can do a lot of things in post-production afterwards if you want to, and just click away. Don't let the moment disappear, even if maybe the image quality could have been a little bit better if you used a little bit lower ISO than what it suggests. Okay, that was just a small tip from me today. Take care and have an excellent evening. Goodbye for now.